to the village. I'm an old man. I live in a big city now. The city is very noisy and full of cars and buses. Every day the air is dirty because of the smoke from the factories and cars. The sky is grey and cloudy almost all the time. This place is very different from where I grew up. I feel tired and sad every day because of this busy and loud life. My children do not call me, and they do not visit me. I live alone in my small, quiet house. I miss them, but they are busy with their own lives. My body is weak now. My bones hurt, and I feel pain in my back and legs every day. Sometimes I just sit and think about my life and feel very lonely. I often think about my old home in the village. It is a small and peaceful place far from here. When I was young, I lived there with my mother and father. The village was quiet and clean. The air was fresh and cool. Trees and flowers were everywhere. I remember the birds singing in the morning and the soft wind in the evening. Life was simple and calm there. Now I want to go back to my village. I want to leave the noise, the cars, and the dirty air behind me. I want to live in peace and feel calm again. I want to see the green trees and breathe fresh air. I want to be near the people I love and remember my happy days from long ago. Tomorrow I will pack my small bag and leave this city. I will go back to my village. I hope to find peace and happiness there again. I am ready for a new life, but I also feel a little scared because I do not know what I will find there. The next morning I woke up early. The sun was not yet high in the sky. I packed my clothes, some food, and a small bottle of water. I felt both nervous and excited. I did not know what I would find in the village after so many years. I said goodbye to my little house. The walls were old and the paint was falling off. It was quiet, but it did not feel like home anymore. I walked to the bus stop. The streets were full of people rushing to work. No one looked at me. The bus ride was long and slow. I watched the city disappear behind me. The tall buildings turned into small houses. The noise became softer and softer. I looked out the window and saw green fields and big trees. My heart felt lighter. After many hours, the bus stopped near the village. I got off and took a deep breath. The air smelled fresh and clean. I could hear birds singing and leaves moving in the wind. It was very different from the city. I started to walk down the small road. I saw old houses, some with flowers in the garden. I remembered my parents' house. It was not far now. I felt hope in my heart. Maybe this old village could be my new home again. I walked slowly toward my old house. The road was quiet and calm. There were small flowers by the side of the road. The sun was warm on my face. I felt happy but also a little sad. Many years had passed since I last saw this place. When I arrived, I saw my parents' house. It was old and a little broken. The paint was gone in many places. The door was closed and the windows were dusty. But I felt something inside me. This house was my home. I touched the wooden door with my hand. It was cold but strong. I remembered the times when I played here as a child. I remembered my mother's smile and my father's strong hands. I missed them very much. I sat near the house and looked around. The trees were taller now, and the garden was wild. But the air was fresh and the sky was blue. I felt peace in my heart for the first time in a long time. I decided to stay here for a while. I needed to rest my body and my mind. I needed to remember the good days and find new hope for the future. The next day, I woke up early. The sun was shining softly through the trees. I opened the old wooden door and stepped outside. The air was fresh and smelled like grass and flowers. I took a deep breath and felt calm inside. I walked around the village slowly. The streets were quiet and empty. I saw some neighbours working in their gardens. They smiled and said hello. I felt a warm feeling inside. It was nice to see friendly faces after a long time. I thought about my children again. I missed them very much, but they did not visit me in the city. Maybe here, in this quiet village, I could find new friends. Maybe I could feel happy again without feeling lonely all the time. I sat under a big tree near the house. The wind was soft and the leaves moved gently. I closed my eyes and remembered the stories my father told me when I was a boy. Those stories made me feel safe and strong. I realized that this village, with its peace and beauty, was a place to heal my tired heart. I could live simply and quietly here. I could rest my body and my soul. For the first time in many years, I felt hope for a new life. Days passed slowly in the village. I woke up with the birds every morning. The sun was warm and the sky was clear. I spent my time walking in the fields and sitting by the river. The water was cool and clean. It made me feel alive again. I started to talk to the neighbours more. They were kind and listened to my stories about the city and my childhood here. Some of them brought me food and tea. I felt welcome and cared for. It was different from the city, where people were always busy and did not have time for me. Sometimes I thought about my children again. I hoped they would call me or visit one day, but for now I needed to live for myself. I needed to find peace and happiness in this simple life. The village was healing my heart and body. One afternoon, I sat under my favourite tree. The wind was soft and the leaves made a quiet sound. I looked at the blue sky and smiled. I felt thankful for this second chance. I was not alone anymore. I had the village, the nature, and new friends. I knew the road ahead would not be easy, but I was ready to live my days with hope and calm. I was an old man, but I still had dreams and a heart full of life. Weeks passed quietly, and life in the village became my new routine. Every morning I woke up with the soft light of the sun. The birds sang sweet songs, and the fresh air filled my lungs. It made me feel stronger and happier each day. Even though my body still hurt sometimes, the calm and peace around me helped to ease the pain. During the day, I helped my neighbours with small tasks. I carried water from the well, planted vegetables in the garden, and listened to stories from the older people in the village. They were kind and made me feel like a part of their family. For the first time in many years, I felt that I truly belonged somewhere. At night, I sat by a small fire outside my house. The sky was full of bright stars, shining in the clear, dark sky. I thought about my children and hoped they were well. I missed them very much, but I was learning to be happy by myself too. The village was healing my heart slowly, day by day. Sometimes I walked to the old tree near my house. I sat there quietly and remembered my childhood. I thought about my mother's smile and my father's strong hands. I realized that peace is not just about the place where you live, but about feeling calm inside your heart. And now I had found that peace. One day, I decided to write a letter to my children. I told them about the village, about the kind people, and how much better I was feeling. I asked them to visit me some day, but I also told them that I was happy here now. I wanted them to know that I was safe and calm. Life is not always easy, but I have hope for the future. I have a new home, new friends, and a heart full of calm and happiness. I am an old man who left the noisy city behind to find peace in a small village. Here I am alive again, and I am thankful for every day.